All right, let's try that again. Did you get your tennis ball, bud? Do you have a toy to show everybody? They were very disappointed not to see anything at Connecticut Sheep and Wool. And welcome to the Once Upon a Corgi Podcast. This is a Crafty Puppy podcast coming to you from Southern Connecticut, and I'm your host, Gabby. You can find me everywhere online as Gabagales and all my hand-dyed yarn at Once Upon a Corgi. Try that again. The barking bits over there are Audrey and Iron, are two Pembroke Welsh Corgis. This is episode 65, so we are now the retirement podcast. I wish. We're not retiring. Don't worry. And today is Wednesday, May 2nd, and it is in Me Made May. We're here, and I love it, and I'm so excited. I have a couple announcement things to get into before we get into the crafting. The first off is we have some giveaways going on in the Ravelry group, which you can find on Ravelry under the Groups tab, Once Upon a Corgi Podcast. That is where all of our show notes are posted, though I am considering moving them to the website. Haven't decided yet. We'll see how that goes. The second announcement is we have a coupon code. Let me grab the shawl. The coupon code is for the newly released Electric Love shawl, which was designed by my friend Sam, and she designed it using Once Upon a Corgi yarns on our Tesla base in the colorways Blood Moon and Like My Cold Dead Heart. Here it is. It is a super long and a beautiful brioche lace shawl that goes on forever. It uses 2 skeins of a main color and 1 skein of contrast color, and she is giving the podcast viewers 30% off the shawl pattern until the end of May. So I'll be putting the coupon code down here. So that is up, and that can be found on Ravelry. I will put a link in the show notes. In the shop update tomorrow for these, a couple will be ready to ship, and the rest will be pre-orders. And the kits will only be in this colorway set on this base, but I will be posting some other pairings ideas that are already in the shop probably tomorrow before the shop update. So keep an eye out on Instagram. Oh, my show notes turned off. Hold on. The only other administrative stuff we have is shop related, but we're going to say it here and we're going to say it everywhere. We are launching our new website tomorrow, and I am so excited to say that we have grown enough to move on to our own site. We are moving off of Etsy, but there will be not a link, but a direction to the new website when you go to the Etsy store, just in case that's, a form of habit for the shop updates. So I'm very excited about that. We have been working very hard to get everything set. I still have to do some tweaking on it, but I think we are ready to go, and I'm so very excited. Thrilled that you guys have supported me in this enough to move on to my own website and let me keep this as a sustainable career path. So thank you so much to everybody who has made that dream come true? Made that come true? I don't know. Words are hard. Whatever. I am drinking some iced tea out of my David's Tea Gigundo tumbler. It is the Mighty Aphrodite herbal blend. It's got raspberry leaf in it. It's the only main component I remember, but it's fruity and delicious without being too sweet. It hit 83 degrees in Connecticut today, I think, and we were dying, so it was super hot and gross inside the house. Yeah. Let me check my show notes one more time. One more event. We will be having a trunk show at A Stitch in Time in Bethel, Connecticut. They have been such a supportive shop to us throughout this whole process. They were the first place to carry our yarn and host us for a trunk show when we went full time. So I'm very excited to go back there for a little post Mother's Day weekend extravaganza. So if you are in the Connecticut or like mid upstate New York area, it is a lovely drive out there, and they have some wonderful stuff, and there's plenty to do it's in the Danbury area, so there's also a couple other yarn stores over there if you were looking for a nice weekend trip. Okay, that's it. Let's get into the crafting. We will start with what am I wearing. It is Me Made May, so I'm wearing a Me Made outfit. It is the Butterick B6135 pattern in this lightweight cotton. I'm very close to the camera, but it's got the tulip back and a relaxed pencil skirt, I'm gonna say, with pockets. This is probably my favorite dress. I love the fabric. I love the fit. There's a couple unfinished bits, like there's no hook and eye here, and there's a raw edge sticking out everywhere, but it just fits perfectly. It's so comfortable. I feel really good in it, so I love it. I don't think I would ever make another one, but I still love this dress so very much. And I did wear Me Made yesterday too. I wore an Anna dress out of double gauze. So with that, let's get into the crafting. I have a finished object that is not made by me, but it is too delicious not to show you. So over the weekend was Connecticut Sheep and Wool, and a friend of mine who knit the Exploration Station for a shop sample for me, her mom was super adorable, and she did not knit this for me, but she said I could use it for the weekend for the shop. But she knit this beautiful shawl out of our iron base, which is the BFL tweed, in the colorways Sunday Morning and Nose Stuck in a Book. And this is the Childhood Memories shawl. So it is a triangular shawl. It looks like it's knit on the bias. That's my guess. I'm definitely gonna knit one of these now that I've seen it, and it is just so precious and so beautiful. It was a massive hit. Everybody loved it. I love it, and I kind of want to knit one now. So thank you. You know who you are. Everybody loved it. I just could not help but show that off. Oh, so beautiful. We won't be getting the tweed base in until June because the distributor is out of that base. Sorry, someone was just being loud and obnoxious in their car outside. We do have a hoe. We have finished, a sock. For somebody who defiantly said the other day to myself alone in my room, I'm really into sweaters. I don't want to knit socks right now. I have a lot of socks on the needles. So this is just a plain vanilla sock on a, did I not put the tag back in there? It's there's popcorn in my bag. We went to the movies. I don't just keep snacks in my bag. It's a German brand wool, I think, on light. It's 75-25 wool and polymade. It does, it kind of feels like a Regia or an Opal. I did 64 stitches on a size 2.5 millimeter, and it's just a plain vanilla sock, fish lips heel, and a like rounded-ish square toe because I was knitting in the movie theater yesterday watching the new Avengers movie, and I knit a little too far, but instead of ripping it back, I just decreased faster. So that's my thing. So I finished that today, and I did cast on the second one, and I figure these will be just good movie socks. So I'm gonna try and get through the ribbing because we're probably gonna go see Avengers again. It's a very rustic yarn, it's a very woolly yarn, and they're going to be very sturdy socks. So I'm excited to get those into a box until winter, because I'm pretty sure we're almost done. I think we're supposed to like stay above the 50s at least. I think we're at that point. I don't know about overnight, but we're doing it. We're getting there. I lied, I have another finished object. Okay, so I have finished the Helen Stewart or Curious Handmade Impressionist Mystery Knit Along. So if you do not want to see the finished object, skip to this time, and if you do want to see it or you finished, I will show it now. So I knit this out of my hand-dyed yarn, Once Upon a Corgi, on my Oliver base, which is 100% superwash merino single ply, and I did it in the colors Mauve Tone, Rose Gold, and Inseparably Damp, and here it is. It is washed, the ends are woven in, and it is blocked, and it is beautiful. I love this so much. It has definitely rekindled my love for shawls. Try and put it on. Ugh. And usually for crescent shaped shawls, I'm always nervous that they're not going to be wide enough. I do like the larger shawls, but this, I think I just breathed in dog hair. It's got a lot of depth to it, so it fits perfectly the way I love it to. You get a little peek of the lace, the picot bind off. I don't mind. I'm not a big picot girl, but it feels amazing. It's super plump, it's super squishy. It's just a beautiful design. I love just the little peak of the lace. It's not a lot of it, but it fits it so perfectly. Yeah, where's your tennis ball? I love it. Helen always has my number. That's really it. And I'm so happy I did the mystery knit along with her. That was the perfect first mystery knit along ever. So, ta-da. I love it. I love it so much. So I'm going to put it away now. If you weren't looking, you can look now. I think that's it for finished objects. So on to works in progress. We'll start with the one that you've seen. So this is the Spring into Summer shawl by the knitting expat, who is Mina. And I'm knitting this out of some hand spun. I did a loop fiber bump that I got at Rhinebeck a couple of years ago, and Fat Cat Knits fiber. They were like little 1 ounce or ½ ounce bundles of fiber. I don't know. That I got at Connecticut Sheep and Wool the first year I went, and I am knitting them into the Spring into Summer shawl by Mina. And here we are. The white's gonna get super blown out. I am sort of using the pattern more as a guide because this is definitely thicker than fingering weight yarn. And I did go up, I want to say 1 or 2 needle sizes. I'm using a size 7, so this is about a DK weight. So technically, according to the pattern, I should still be like back here, but because I was running out of the fiber bumps, I decided to do not as much as the color and then just fill in a lot with the loop bump. So I'm going to start at the lace portion now just to make sure I get a good chunk of that and knit the lace until I have enough yarn left over to do 1 or 2 rows of garter and then the bind off, and then I will start again with the color gradation. So it won't be the same, but it'll be using the same order. What? Okay. Yes. You don't have anything, bud. They can't see you. Hold on. I'm using the same order of stitch patterns, but just not the same amount, which is fine. It is a paid-for pattern on Ravelry, and I would highly recommend it. It is lending itself very well to hand spun. And I feel like this would be perfect if you got a lot of bits and bobs. Also minis, because she did use a mini gradient kit for the original pattern, so. And that is living a little squished in my Mrs. Brown's bags, which I love dearly. Ooh. The next work in progress I have been working on is surprise socks. So I needed some socks to work on while vending and then did not have a chance to work on any socks while vending. So I cast these on at Knit and Pearls in Avon for the trunk show on that Sunday. So yeah, I just needed something fun and quick. This is the colorway Blood Moon in my hand-dyed yarns. There you go. It is on my Isaac base, which is 100% superwash Polworth, and it is the engagement colorway I dyed up because it matches. I feel like a Captain America whenever I show people my ring, but it matches. Matchy. I'm doing the Hermione's Everyday Sock pattern, right? Yeah, yep. And so there we go. I am also knitting this on my 2.25 millimeter Chow Goose, and I forgot how much I love them. I do not love this cord, but I do love these needles. I bought the cord to do 2 at a time socks, and then I realized I don't like 2 at a time socks. So whatever. And this is just a kind of, it's living in my backpack / purse. So if I have a moment anywhere, this is ready to go. And it is living in a Winnie the Pooh bag my mom made me for my birthday, because I love Pooh Bear. Our last whip does not have a project bag because I haven't cleaned any of my sock ones out, which is just sheer laziness. And this, what bud? Are you just mad because I closed the bedroom door? This is the collaboration that I am doing with Becky from Stringing It Together and Hannah from the Corner of Craft. We did a collaboration on the Volca sock kits last year, and they were a huge success, and we all had so much fun doing it, so we decided to do it again. And Becky designed the socks, I dyed the yarn, and Hannah is making the progress keepers, which are adorable. And I've cast mine on. So we don't have a name for the sock pattern yet. We're thinking maybe something German, but we're not sure. We don't know. We'll figure that out. If you have any suggestions, go to Stringing It Together and tell her. So I have cast on the first sock, and I'm through the gusset increases for, what, bud? I finished the gusset increases for the new depth heel, and yeah, this is going to be the only color combination available for the set, and it is 2 new colorways, Fiddleheads and Puppy Paws, because what's more spring than Fiddleheads and tiny puppy paws? It is on the Marie Cutie base, which is a 75/25 Corriedale and nylon, and it is just this brilliant chartreuse with these little gray and pink and brown speckles, and then a tonal peachy orangey pink. So Becky has this leaf motif and then these little dewdrop lace going up the side of each sock. I love it. I love it so much. I did this in an afternoon. It was so addicting. It's a very easily memorizable lace pattern. It is going to fly off your needles. And I am using the Addy Flexi Flips. So here's the needle itself. I got the 2.25 millimeter ones. I got them at Knit and Pearl in Avon, Connecticut. They're the only yarn store I've seen that has the sock size. She said they ordered a bunch of them, and they do online orders. So if you are looking for them, I would check them out, and I will put a link to their shop down in the show notes. And I really like these. I wasn't totally sure about them. They were a little finicky at first, but kind of like any sock, like everything's a little bit awkward until you like get the cuff done, and then there's some weight behind them. But they are sort of a mix between DPN and Magic Loop. They're just sort of, yeah, like teeny tiny cable, but they act like DPNs, really. It took a little bit to get used to them, but now I really like them. And my gauge looks really good in them. So I like them. I don't know if I'll buy more of these just because of the price point. They were $25 for the set, which is way more than I would usually spend on them, but I haven't bought myself any yarn or knitting needles since November, so we decided a little treat yourself. So there we go. We are releasing this, I want to say mid-May. I don't have the exact date yet, but we will be posting it everywhere. So I'm very excited to be working on these, and I'll probably work on them some more during Knit Group on Saturday. And maybe I'll get them a project bag by then. I'm gonna open a window because it's boiling in here. Our last work in progress is sewing. Ta-da! So we're gonna pull, this is Piedmont. Barnaby did a little parent trap switch on me, so I used the wrong one, but that's fine. Still works for this. I have been working on this is a top from the Gertie's Bigger Book for Better Sewing, and I worked on it a little bit. So last time you saw it, it only had one collar and no fastenings. It now has 2 collars, but as you can see, it is super crooked. There we go. Yeah, this is really terrible. I don't know what happened. It's sitting, it's so crooked and it doesn't come all the way in the back, so I think I'm just gonna trash the collar totally and start over. It just makes me really annoyed. I am putting snaps in the back instead of buttons and buttonholes because I can. And it still looks really good. Let me turn it around. So it's still gonna fall. I just have some basted stitches to hold the fabric closed while I do this, except the other night while I was doing it, I sewed a couple snaps in upside down. So instead of having the female part of the snap, I have two male parts, which does not close the shirt. So we're just gonna give the shirt a couple days to relax and breathe and then go back and fix everything. Yeah, the collar doesn't like come all the, this one does, but it's just looking really weird. I'm just not happy with it at all. There's still plenty of this fabric left, so if this totally doesn't work, then that's fine. But I'm just not thrilled with it. So instead, we're gonna work on other stuff. So the other thing we are going to work on, so future sewing / whips, is going to be out of this fabric, which you might recognize. It is the leftovers. Oh man, you can see how faded this one is. This is the leftovers of my dress that I'm wearing, and I have a store-bought tank top that I really liked, but the material is so cheap that the button band started falling off. But in the way that you couldn't, like, if I fix this, it's just gonna look really weird. So what we're gonna do, what we did, is we started taking this apart to turn into a pattern, and we are going to recreate this out of this. We're going to salvage the buttons. It's gonna be great. So what I've done is taken it apart. So this is the back, middle, and I'm gonna take it apart at the side seam, and I'm going to leave the shoulder seam just because it's a French seam and it's got binding, so it's just too annoying to take it off. I might just cut it. Yeah, I'm going to take this apart, use it as a pattern piece, and recreate this tank top. And hopefully, if it works, I have some sheer fabric that I would like to do another tank top with, and make some camis or bandeau bralette things to wear underneath for the summer. Something super cool and cash, because I don't have a lot of summer stuff and I keep knitting sweaters, and as much as I love a cropped short sleeve sweater, it's still wool in the middle of July. We are going to Nashville and that's going to be hot. So that is our plan. I think Saturday I'm going to set aside for a sewing day and do try and get as much of this shirt done as possible, maybe work on this shirt a little bit, and work on the Ariella skirt from Tilly and the Buttons. I don't remember who does what. So that is my plan, and I'm going to enter all of those into the summer garment make-along that Joanna, my fellow Pum Queen, is hosting. Is that it? No, I have spinning this week. I took Monday off because I worked all weekend and I just needed a nice don't talk to anybody and craft day. So I took some time to do some spinning, and I started working on this fiber, which is a Classy Squid Fiber Co. bat and some Angora fiber, one from a friend who owns Angora. It's Angora from the farmer's market and cashmere from a friend. Or it's both Angora, I don't remember. But I tried spinning it and it just didn't work. I just couldn't get it to do what I wanted it to do, and it was just super frustrating. So I stopped, put it aside, and I broke out a fiber braid from Into the World in the Captain Tight Pants colorway, and they're Cheviot, 100% Cheviot wool that I got at Rhinebeck 2 years ago, and I am 3/4 of the way done. So here it is. It's spinning. The singles are probably a heavy lace to very light fingering at this point. I am going to do a chain ply to keep all the colors together because I don't really like barber pulling in my hand spun. And it's probably going to be a heavy fingering to sport weight, I'm hoping. And I don't know what I'm gonna do with it yet, but I'm having so much fun spinning this. I spun almost all of it in one day. I think I spun like, I split the braid into I split the braid lengthwise into 4 sections and spun those end to end. So they're repeating the colorway 4 times, the whole length of the braid. So I spun 2.5 on Monday, and I spun all but like this much of the other half yesterday. So I just have one more tube. I have a quarter of the braid left. I don't know why I made that complicated. So I'm probably going to do a little bit of that tomorrow before I go out with my friend, and after the shop update, and maybe Friday, and then Saturday maybe I'll ply, or maybe Sunday I'll have a bug bite. I love spinning. I have the Blue Bonnet Honey and Ply travel wheel, in case you were wondering. Okay, that's it for making things. So if you were not here for the rest of the shop update and life stuff, thank you so much for watching. And if you are, let us continue. All right, shop update tomorrow. Tomorrow we are launching the new website, onceuponacorgi.com. Everything will be sold through the website from now on, and I'm so excited. I did not bring any yarn over to show you because we are literally putting a little bit of every single basin and almost every single colorway. This is going to be a massive shop update. It's gonna have stuff from the Etsy shop. It's gonna have stuff that hasn't been in the Etsy shop. It's gonna have patterns. It's gonna have DK weight. It's gonna have Aran weight. It's gonna have so much fingering weight. So yeah, we would have been here for 17 hours if I tried to show you what we were gonna put in there. So much stuff is going to be in this shop update. I have had a couple people ask me if I am doing anything to prevent cartjacking. At this moment, there is nothing to my knowledge that I can do to prevent it, but I have only had that problem once, and that was during the Volca shop updates when they sold out. And they sold out in about 3 hours, so it was not a very rapid fire sellout. I have not had that problem in the past. If it does happen, please let me know, and I will continue to see if there's anything I can do about it. But the shop updates tend to be a slow and steady stream, so if there's something you really, really want, just make sure you are there at the shop update times, and more than likely you will get all the yarn you need. We are going to continue with our weekly updates, I believe, but they are going to be a little bit smaller for a little bit just because of the sheer amount of yarn that is in the shop at this moment. I physically do not have space to dye and store any more yarn. Right now our yarn wall is filled to the brim. There is an extra layer added to it, and we are in tubs. So there's going to be we're going to be adding to the shop, but not in the big sweater quantities that we usually do. We're just going to be supplementing for a little while until we kind of get back into a flow and, you know, get back to the world. So that is shop update stuff. Oh, we will also be having fiber in the shop update tomorrow. So all the leftover fiber from Connecticut Sheep and Wool will be going into the shop. And Connecticut Sheep and Wool was absolutely amazing. I cannot thank you guys enough for coming and supporting the shop, supporting the patterns, supporting Mama Gergs and Little Elephant Yarns. She did wonderful, and she was so excited that it was so popular. I cannot believe every year how well we do, and it just makes me so happy to see everybody and to see people in person and to see what projects they make and kind of figure out what kind of projects they're looking for to kind of make it a better booth for next year. We're hoping to be in a corner or a side booth next year in the same building just to make the flow a little bit easier. We have been in the middle aisle with access from both sides, so that makes it a little crowded. So we're hoping we can control that a little bit next year, but we will see. It all depends on who gets what. The Avon trunk show at Knit and Pearls was also super amazing. Thank you so much to everybody who came out again, who just stumbled upon us. We did not bring the corgis, but almost half of the people that walked through the door asked where they were. So next time, I know, and I will bring at least one dog. It was super amazing to work with them, and I'm very excited to go back to their shop. They are a delightful shop. They have fantastic projects and kits and yarn, and they have their own line of hand-dyed yarn, which is also gorgeous. And Avon's an adorable town, so You can't really say anything bad about it. And I think that's it for the shop stuff. We went over the Electric Love kits. Again, there will be ready to ship kits and some pre-orders. And I think that's it. If there's any specific colorways you want to see more of or sweater quantities of, just let me know on email, onceuponacorgi@gmail.com. Instagram messages is not a very good way to get in touch with me because it doesn't tell me when I get requests. So if I don't follow you, I won't know you've messaged me. And I just don't want you to think I'm ignoring you. I'm just not getting the message. So I think that's it. I think all my bases are covered. Yeah. I'm hoping the layout of the shop, it works out for everybody. It's separated by weights. So, I think that works. If not, we'll figure it out. We're gonna see how the first month goes and then kind of tweak it from there. So yeah, that's it for shop update. I really hope you guys can make it. I'm very excited to see all this hard work kind of go off into the world. So we will see you tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, March 3rd at onceupоnacorgi.com. Life stuff is our, life nonsense really, is our last section, and what we have been doing is show prep and website stuff. So we did the 2 shows over the weekend, which was super fun and very exhausting. So Monday we spent in our pajamas crafting on so many things, and it was lovely. So, whew, I'm sleepy. And yesterday we did a lot of website work and inventory, and then we saw Avengers Infinity War, which was amazing. We're probably going to go back and see it again next week. And tomorrow I'm also super excited, not only because of a shop update, but it's Beers and Bones at the Peabody Museum in New Haven, Connecticut, which you get, it's a beer tasting in the Peabody Museum, and there's a scavenger hunt. So we just get to hang out amongst dinosaur bones and do beer tastings, and I'm so excited. I'm going with my best friend, and I can't wait. We found it by accident, and it was perfect. It's gonna be amazing. I can't wait. They also have like a beer beaker that I'm considering getting, but probably won't because I'm on a mug restriction, but I really want to see what it looks like. We'll see. And this weekend, it's just gonna be chilling. After last weekend, we definitely need a weekend off, and the weekend after that is Jake's birthday, so that's gonna be crazy. Also a Stitch Time in Bethel, so again, it's gonna be a crazy weekend. So this weekend I'm very excited to just relax, catch up on Versailles and A Handmaid's Tale, and binge watch something great, probably. So we'll see. With that, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to go have some dinner and edit this and try and get it out before too late tomorrow. And I will see you all next week. Thank you so much for watching and supporting the podcast and the shop. And we will see you later. Bye.